here and welcome to my unboxing of this Revell, as it's pronounced, Technik Dakar RC truck. I think it might be 1/24 scale, something around there, might be a bit bigger than that. It's toy grade, really cheap. I think it was about 25 to 30 pounds, and it's a kit, and it shows here, you know, do it yourself. And if you look at that, it looks like it's going to be really simple, something that, you know, maybe your son or daughter could do. It says it's for ages 8 or above. It uses 4 AA batteries for the car and 2 for the remote. It's 27 megahertz. So possibly not more than one of these going at the same time. I don't know if they've got different sub frequencies or what. And I'm assuming it's bang bang. So let's have a look at the little kit itself. Just before we do, the usual safety instructions that can be binned, and the user manual, and it's in different languages, so I had a look for English, which is there, expecting to see instructions on how to build it. And then when I couldn't, I was looking in the box and couldn't find them, but then actually found them right at the front here, after the instructions on driving it. And this is all you get. Just poor quality pictures, if you ask me. I mean, you don't even get, from what I can think, well, I haven't had a look yet, so unless the bags, oh yeah, the bags look like they're marked up, so that'll be step 20. So I think what I'll do is get it all out for you. As you can see, there's bits of chassis, more of a chassis and the electronics, the remote. You've got 2 sets of wheels, headlights, the body, with a black windscreen and a sunroof, and then all the bits and bobs here, look, to put it all together, including the battery covers and a front bumper, and we've got a motor for the rear axle. It's 2-wheel drive, and then another motor for the steering. So I'll get laid out and we can start to build it. Okay, so I've got basically steps 1 to 7 out of their bags, all marked up. So the chassis is step 1, so I'm assuming that just means get it out the bag. And step 2 is part of the steering, and it's this arm here, and you will have to excuse me. Oh no, I can see on this step 4 here. So you've got some teeth here and a protrusion here, and that has to go down. And from looks like, if you can see, if I bring it up, there's a spring here, and that protrusion has to slot in there, I believe, like so. So that's step 2. Step 3 is the steering arm, and by the looks of this, that's the wheel. That's got to turn up. So it must go that way. No, it must go that way. So I think that pops in there like so. And then step 4 is a spring on there. And then if we come down to, oh, you may not have been on shot there. So that's step 3. Step 4 is the spring there. Step 5 is the other side, which I'll call the offside. So that goes like so. And step 6 is the spring. And we can turn over now. We can get rid of those. Parts bag 1 came with these screws in, but I'm not sure when they'll be used, because the first part where you need screws is parts bag 10, which is here, and it's got 4 screws with it, so we'll wait to see when we need to use those. So that's 1 to 6. Step 7 is something else to do with the steering, and looking at this, 7 is we've got this metal bar, which, looking at this, goes in here, if you can get it in, which, oh, there we go. And then this gear here goes with the smaller one facing down over that bearing, shall we say, shaft, and then has to slot into those teeth, and then it'll turn like so, and then we can get on to step 8, which is the motor for the steering, and that should go, whoops, like so, and I'm assuming it's just going to be a push fit. I think they should have done that first before these springs. So that's 8A, and B, by the looks of this, goes in the white, which kind of makes sense. Just about fits. So that's that. So I'll get the next group ready, and we'll carry on. Okay, step 9, get your screwdriver out. Step 10 is this cover for the steering, motors, etc. And it can be a little tricky, this one, by the looks of this, but you should be able to get it in eventually. And once I've got it in place, it says it's not going down. Oh, there we go. Right. Once it's in place, you'll see that the steering arms poke through these holes here, and it fits in. Just to show you, it fits in there. There we go. I think you can just about see, like so. And then it's just a case of getting the 4 screws, and this probably isn't magnetic. Oh my word, well, wasn't expecting that, but the screwdriver's magnetic, and they just pop in this hole here, should I say, these holes here. Like so, and we just need to tighten them up. And that's step 10. And step 11, again looking at this, is installing the transmission. So we want to turn this round, try and get the orientation, and from looking at this poor quality video, picture even, it should slot in like so, with these two screws, one in there and one in there, and we'll just do this off screen. It looks like they forgot to point out that you need to plug the motor in, but at least it's colour coded, and there we go, one motor plugged in, ready. So I've got the wheels for step 12, but I'm assuming that's the back, so it should just be a case of getting them in, yeah, and then popping the screw in. Holding on to the wheel while you screw, like that, and then we can just do the other four, so I'll crack on with that. Okay, so here we have the 4 wheels and tyres on. Oh, wrong one. Oh dear, never mind. So to carry on, we're now on to steps 14, 15 and 16, and that's the front and rear bumpers and Pete, the wibbly wobbly metal one, woohoo! So it is a case of, front one is the big one, and it slots over there like that until you hear a click, and then there are 2 screw holes here. Let's just get them started for you, and these are quite flanged screws, shall we say, to hold this plastic in place like that. And the rear one, I'm assuming, goes somewhere similar like that. In fact, that pushes up, if you can see, like so, and again the same kind of screws to hold it in. But I can't bleeding see where they are. I think they're somewhere about there. No, that's it. And we just need to tighten them up. So I'll get on with that, and we can move on to 16. Step 16 is installing the aerial, and we've got a little again flanged screw, and I'm not sure you can do it either way, I think, just as long as the aerial wire touches the aerial, but I'm going to do it that way, and it goes in that hole there, and then we start it off like so, and unfortunately there's no easy way of doing this, I don't think, on camera, because you just need to hold everything, mind you, because that's on top. There we go, and that's oops, the wibbly wobbly on top. Okay, step 17 is getting the body out, and you know, it's a really detailed body for what it is and the price, with the plastic indicators or rear lights, etc., and some headlights, and the stickers already on, and weird roof rack, but hey, there we go. And then step 18 is installing the blacked out windows, and again it's going to be a case of trying to line it into position, and I think you've got to get it over these pins here. Oh, there we go. And then again it's just a case of screwing them in. And we can move on to step 19 and probably 20. So I'll get those bits ready. Step 19 is installing these searchlight, fog lights, headlights, whatever you want to call them. And again, we just need to screw them onto the top of the body into those holes there, like that. And then 20 is this, shall we say, inner body that's got the shock absorbers. And looking at this, it does go on something like that. But no idea. Must be like that. Possibly. Looks it. Let's just come back here. Okay, so we've got 20B, which is 4 screws, and then 20C, which is fitting it onto the body, and 20D, which is another 4 screws by the looks of that. So I'll get on with these 4 screws first and see how we go about attaching it to the body. Chassis even. Step 20C is a bit tricky. First of all, you've got to get your wibbly wobbly through that little slot there, and then you can, I think that will only fit, yeah, if it's at a 90-degree angle to the little round bit at the top, and then it has to come through the roof. And then this is the tricky bit. You've got to work the front of this bit here into the groove or the hole here of the front bumper, and it's a bit tricky to get it in, and it never works as well when you're on camera, does it? Oh, there we go. And then you just have to keep playing with it until the screw holes click in, and it's just a case of finagling them in. There we go, that's the front in, and then the back is the same, like that. However, if you're not careful, I think they can pop out fairly easily, and then it's just, it says just a case of screwing them in, and I suggest you do the back first. There we go. So I'll carry on with the other three and come back for the last few steps, hopefully. The last two steps, steps 22 and 23, are to put the battery covers on. So there is a screw to go on these, but I think for now, for this bit of testing, I'm not going to bother screwing the screws in, because honestly, I'm not even sure how good these batteries are. They're a set of non-rechargeable that I've had for quite a while, so I think we'll just pop the covers in, and there we are, we're all done. And first thing I've noticed on this is there's no on-off button, and I think they just kind of basically on while you've got the batteries in, so that's a bit of a bummer. And it is totally bang bang, forward and reverse and left and right, but let's just get rid of the install and the manual, etc., and we'll give it a try, eh? I'll zoom out a bit, but just before I do, turn it over, we've got an on-off button on the car at least. So here's a quick test. Zoom out a bit. Ooh, we're a bit cockeyed, aren't we? There we go, try that. And then we've got the steering. And forward and reverse. So, not too bad for a children's toy. You never know, might have some fun. It's never going to pull a wheelie, I don't think. But I think I'll have a look, see if I've got any stuff, and see if it can climb anything. So, we'll be back in a minute. Right, well, we've got a small incline here. Now, it's not that brilliant, but it could all be down, could possibly be partially down to these batteries, because I don't know how long I've had them, so they could be well past their best. So let's just give it a try. Ooh. Well, it's almost got to the top if I didn't let off, but As you can see, that's me trying to go forward now, and it's just stuck there, and if I let go it rolls back, but it did make it, I think. No, I think the batteries are going on this. So to sum up, it wasn't too bad a build in the end, and it's quite a fun looking supposedly Dakar monster truck. I do think that fresh batteries might have helped, but I'm sure I'll be doing a little run completely on its own with some fresh batteries. So with that, I hope you enjoyed this, and look forward to seeing you on the next one. Cheers, bye.